A giant in the making, the early life of Abraham Lincoln. He seems to emerge fully formed in our minds, a towering figure etched against the backdrop of Civil War. Abraham Lincoln, the great emancipator. Yet, Lincoln's life story is no simple tale of predestined greatness. It's a story of resilience, of ambition forged in humble beginnings, of a man who, through sheer force of will and intellect, rose from obscurity to lead a nation through its darkest hour. Born in a rough-hewn log cabin on the Kentucky frontier, Lincoln's early life was marked by hardship and limited opportunities. Formal schooling was scarce, but young Abraham devoured every book he could get his hands on, teaching himself law by candlelight. This thirst for knowledge, this relentless self-improvement would become a defining characteristic throughout his life. But Lincoln wasn't just a bookworm. He possessed a remarkable memory, a talent for storytelling, and a down-to-earth humor that drew people to him. These qualities, honed in the rough-and-tumble world of his youth, would later serve him well on the political stage. It was in these formative years, amidst the challenges and triumphs of frontier life, that the seeds of greatness were sown in the heart of young Abraham Lincoln. Wrestling with destiny from flatboats to law books. Few could have predicted the trajectory of Lincoln's life based on his early adventures. He worked as a storekeeper, a postmaster, even a wrestler, showcasing his legendary strength and surprising agility. He navigated the vast waterways of the Mississippi as a flatboatman, witnessing firsthand the brutal realities of slavery in the South. These experiences, far removed from the halls of power, shaped Lincoln's character and worldview. They instilled in him a deep empathy for the common man, a profound understanding of the human condition, and a pragmatic approach to problem-solving that would define his leadership. Throughout these varied pursuits, Lincoln never lost sight of his ambition for something more. He studied law diligently, eventually earning his license and establishing a successful practice. His reputation as an honest, hard-working lawyer spread, laying the foundation for his eventual entry into the world of politics. The making of a President Lincoln's forging in the fires of politics. Lincoln's journey into politics was not one of instant success. He faced numerous defeats and setbacks, yet each loss seemed to fuel his determination. He served in the Illinois legislature, honed his oratory skills on the circuit court, and engaged in fiery debates on the issue of slavery. His legendary debates with Stephen Douglas, though ultimately resulting in a loss for a Senate seat, catapulted Lincoln onto the national stage. The Lincoln-Douglas debates were not just political sparring matches, they were battles for the soul of a nation grappling with the question of slavery. Lincoln's eloquence, his unwavering moral compass, and his ability to articulate complex issues in a clear and compelling manner resonated with the American people. He emerged from these debates, despite the loss, as a formidable force in the newly formed Republican Party, poised to lead a nation on the brink of division. The year is 1861. The nation is fractured, teetering on the precipice of civil war. Abraham Lincoln, the rail splitter from Illinois, assumes the mantle of leadership. He faces a nation divided, a war threatening American democracy. Lincoln embraced new technologies, recognizing the telegraph's strategic importance. He held cabinet meetings via telegraph, receiving real-time updates. This innovative use of communication helped the Union. Lincoln's greatest act was the Emancipation Proclamation, declaring the freedom of slaves in rebel territories. This transformed the war into a struggle for human liberation. Lincoln bore the weight of the nation upon his shoulders, facing dissent, military losses, and assassination threats. Yet he never wavered in his commitment to preserving the Union and ending slavery. The image of Lincoln as a stoic, even melancholic figure dominates our collective memory. Yet, those closest to him knew a different side of the man, a loving husband and father, a gifted storyteller, a man who used humor to cope with the immense pressures of leadership. Lincoln's relationship with his wife, Mary Todd, was complex and often tumultuous, a testament to the challenges of balancing personal life with the demands of the presidency. His love for his sons, especially young Willie, who tragically died in the White House, added a layer of personal grief to the already heavy burdens of office. Beyond the political arena, Lincoln found solace in poetry, often reciting verses by Shakespeare and Burns. He possessed a keen intellect, a love of learning, and a surprisingly whimsical sense of humor. His ability to find moments of levity, even amidst the darkest days of the war, speaks to his resilience and humanity. In the final days of the war, Lincoln made a secret visit to Richmond, the fallen Confederate capital, walking the streets where just days before, Confederate President Jefferson Davis had resided. This act of reconciliation, of reaching out to the defeated South, foreshadowed his vision for a reunited nation, healed from the wounds of war.